Hi, folks. I hope it's okay. I'm going to do this in English. I'd like to thank Bjørvika for the fantastic title of my presentation. I hope it bears some resemblance to that. Okay, great. I'm just going to check. Yeah, I can work this thing. Good. So, Kunsthall Oslo, we opened 5 years ago. When we opened, we were the only thing here that wasn't an office or a construction site. Very interesting situation to be in. We belong to Bjørvika infrastructure. We have artistic independence, but we are a non-profit RS that belongs to the Bjørvika development at the moment. We like this idea because it means we are officially part of the allmenning. Diversity in Bjørvika is part of what we're here to talk about. I'm going to try and talk about diversity, local production and internationalism all at once and tangled up together. But the idea of the allmenning, the idea that we were the first place that anybody could just walk through the door of was very important to us. We don't see ourselves as an elitist art gallery. We see ourselves perhaps foolishly in the light of recent developments, as something more like a library or a cinema. We are certainly not a museum. We're dedicated to the living culture. We gained an audience fairly quickly. The idea has always been for the Kunsthall to develop as Bjørvika develops. We have moved and we will move again as the development moves along. But the ultimate aim is that 5 years from now, when this phase of the development is over, we will have found a permanent home. Oslo Kommune, if you're here, we're looking at this place, Lokomotivhallen. We want to be part of not just Bjørvika, but an area we talk about, Bjørvika Gamlebyen, which brings together a much wider and more diverse audience. A lot of young people as well as the people who are living and working in Bjørvika. And this is... The audience that you serve partly determines the kind of thing you can do, and that's very important. So we're based in the local area and in the idea of local production. We have, again, our visitor figures are unimpressive compared to the Munch Museum. We've had about 50,000 people, not this year, but since we opened. About 100,000 people, if you include the projects that we've done in collaboration with other organizations. It sounds a bit better when you think that we like to compare ourselves to the Samtidsmuseet. Per kroner of Norwegian public money spent, then we have 4 times as many visitors per kroner of public money spent. So I'm going to just now, this is going to go very fast. I'm just going to try and fill you in. I'm going to make the classic schoolboy error of a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to try and tell you everything. So we began, this is actually a work by Fadlabi. We like to work with young artists and at a key stage in their development. Fadlabi is now going to be part of the Munch I Bevegelse project. We do, in terms of diversity, first of all, very diverse art forms, performance art, music. This is Hans-Joachim Rodelius playing as part of Ultima. This is the theatre piece where the audience begin by playing themselves at an art opening, turns into a horror story. We work with local schools. This is Ballet High School rehearsing. This is Coda Fringe, the Fringe Festival, the dance festival that was at the Opera. Worked with the National Museum, for example, to bring this. This is Robert Rauschenberg's Erased de Kooning drawing. Probably the most important and most valuable work on paper of the 20th century. It's a $25 million work. We had to get the state to insure it. At the same time, we've done exhibitions like this, Open Kunsthall, where anybody could exhibit. Anybody was able to just literally come through the door and put their artwork on the wall. This is our most popular event ever. And our core of broadcast from our place, that's with Lemi Garioku from Lagos. We work with artist-run spaces. This is a poker tournament that Tidens Krav put on with our help. We've had an anti-racist festival, Queendom played. We work with our neighbors. This is a piece by Mariana Haya in the boardroom of KLP, performance piece. We hosted KLP's summer party one time. That was a lot of fun. We've worked with DMB to introduce the public to one of the fantastic works in their art collection, Yayoi Kusama's Infinity Room, which is down in their canteen. We've produced public art in the area. It's by Jemana Mana. We work with Hustedslingen to bring some of their sculptures to Oslo S. We've worked with students. This is a summer school. Students built a raft on the fjord. This doesn't look like it, but it was a collaboration with the Dijkman Library. We held a bike mending workshop at the library, followed by a BMX demonstration in Turnpark. This was a walk along Alna-elva, which of course comes down into the fjord here, but hosted by artist Bodil Furu and Alna-elva's Venner. A tour to Eckerberg. We do, of course, a lot of things with children and schools. We run workshops, we do tours. We're also now actually officially part of the art education at Teyen School via Oslo Musikk og Kulturskole, so we're working with them all the time. The children get to exhibit their work as well, not just take part in workshops. This is a weaving demonstration at Oslo S conducted by school children. We're one of the organisers of the Oslo Art Weekend, along with many other non-profit organisations in Oslo. We produce very important local production. We produce new work by Norwegian artists. It's still from film by Ingrid Torven. Jumana Mana and Silla Storila's film. This went to the Sharjah Biennial. It also went to New York. Annie Yrkutu's film, Four Studies of Oslo and New York, didn't go to New York, but it went to Sydney. Jon Talaros will be part of the Munki Bevegelse project. He did his first solo show at Kunsthall Oslo. Sandra Majinger, a fantastic Norwegian artist now based in Sweden. We commissioned her last year. Niels Beck made an acoustic performance of more or less his life story. This was our last exhibition by Azar Al-Sharif. Beautiful, beautiful show. We commissioned Steinar Haga Christensen, who made a brand new fresco at the City Hall, the first one that's been made at the City Hall for 60 years, and that will remain there forever. It was the backdrop to an opera which attracted an awful amount of attention. The New York Times covered it, showing off now. We've had quite a good relationship with the media. This was a visibility project for Palestinian asylum seekers that we did with the artist Andrea Lange. Project Trevor Paglen photographing American spy satellites. Really, really interesting. They too got into that. This is Marta Eknes. This was Hannah Riggen. First Hannah Riggen show for several decades in Oslo we did. This is an artist from Kristiansand called The Moon, who was drawing Oslo from the point of view of, I suppose, a very, very sharp-eyed, paranoid outsider. I really, really enjoyed that one. But the main thing we do is make exhibitions. This was an exhibition of Norwegian art and the feminist movement, 60s and 70s last year. This was one of our most popular shows ever. It's not the kind of thing that you imagine when you set out to do it is going to be a hit with the public. Norwegian art and feminism, 1960 to 1990. Morten Krogh, this was part of Tegne Biennalen last year, nearly done. Please come to our current show. As Rolf mentioned, Gustav Metzger, brilliant exhibition. It includes what we call a rainbow. If you stretch your imagination, it's a rainbow. Upcoming shows with Maria Brink, with Elizabeth Hoare, with the Syrian Culture Caravan. We're releasing a record by Eric Hesselberg, who was on the Kon-Tiki. We're doing a project with Holly Herndon, fantastic American musician, who did a super great talk, according to Instagram. I like that, at our space this summer. And the main thing that's happening, apart from our collaboration with the art school in Addis Ababa, is, as has already been mentioned twice, a collaboration with the Munch Museum as part of Munki Bevegelse. So we will be working with the Steensen collection in a new space over the next 5 years, and at the same time we plan moving to another new space ourselves. So we're very excited about the next 5 years, and that, could that have gone better? Tusen takk.